this site, because that's a bigger crowd as we've seen in many years, I think, Robert, isn't it? It's a huge crowd making its way down the Mall.
It never fails to impress, the sight of the thousands, tens of thousands coming down the Mall for this moment. But it is, you know, that great moment of the year when you do see all the royal family together in public. They're all here. Actually, sadly, the Earl and Countess of Wessex aren't here today because they're attending a royal wedding in Sweden. But you've got all the senior members of the family here. And many people come year after year, and not just from Britain. I once met a gentleman who comes from Australia every year just to see this moment.
It's a great sight. Let's go over to Green Park, shall we? Because the King's Troop are about to move into Green Park in their rousing way for that 41-gun salute, which is a traditional part of the Queen's official birthday. It's just a stone's throw away from Buckingham Palace. And then after we have the King's Troop's contribution, the entire royal family, with one or two exceptions, as Robert has noted, will appear on that balcony ready for the flypast. I'm told, by the way, I should give you a little bit of a warning, that because of the rather iffy weather today in the skies above London and the southeast of England, it will not be as extensive a flypast as we've seen in previous years, but we will see the red arrows, so there is to be a very big highlight to the flypast, but it won't be as extensive as some we've seen in the past. Seen in Green Park, King's Troop ready to make their dramatic entrance, and they'll be firing that 41-gun salute. It's a 21-gun salute, by the way, for the Queen's official birthday, but they'll be firing an additional 20-gun salute because it is taking place in a royal park, and Green Park, of course, is one of the royal parks. So that'll be taking place just a few seconds, and there was a gun salute just a few days ago as well to mark the Duke of Edinburgh's 94th birthday. Well, since the Queen's birthday parade last year, the King's Troop has welcomed a new adjutant, and she's with Claire.
Yeah, Claire's held that role since, is it July?
Yes, absolutely, Claire. So I was new in post with the commanding officer, and we had about 6 weeks to prepare for the Invictus Games opening ceremony, which was great to do. It's really fun.
So that was your sort of first event, and I would imagine you've been pretty busy over the last 11 months.
Absolutely. So ceremonial season has been rolling on, but points to note. So the biggest parade we've done recently was for Princess Charlotte, and that was a wonderful galloping salute, 41 rounds in Hyde Park.
And is it a difficult thing to organise? Do conditions make a difference to the behaviour of the horses?
Absolutely. It's slightly windy today, so we try and take the horses out for a nice ride, and we get their backs down, sort of a military phrase, get them exercise for an hour before we go out onto parade, and that just calms their nerves, and it also settles the soldiers as well.
An awful lot of women join the King's Troop. Why is it so welcoming to women, and what would your sort of ratio be now, men to women?
We're nearly at 50%, which is wonderful, and we're also at 50% for the officers as well, which is great. I think the gunners as a whole is very attractive. We have lots of different sort of niche business that we can do, and it's really nice that soldiers want to come to London. It's a job that they can't do in any other regiment, so that's, I think, why the King's Troop is so attractive to them.
And you're very settled now in your relatively new barracks in Woolwich. I came there a couple of years ago, and it seems very good facilities.
It is. It's quite remarkable, yeah. Facilities for soldiers and horses alike is just wonderful. Maybe just a little bit too far east, but absolutely wonderful out there. Yeah, it's really great.
And what will you be up to over the summer? Do the horses get a rest at all?
Yeah, we're planning our summer training camps at the moment, and it's just a nice week for the soldiers to have a nice relaxing time. If possible, we go and do some training, low-level training, cross-country, and just some time to enjoy themselves, and we turn the horses out to grass too.
Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing them with gun salute coming very shortly, Claire.
Thanks so very much, Claire. Thanks, bye.
So the King's Troop in place in Green Park, and just 3 months to go at this stage before the Queen is set to break that remarkable record of her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, as the longest reigning monarch in British history at 63 years and 7 months.
Number 1! Fire! Number 2! Fire! motto which has been borne by many of my ancestors. A noble motto, I serve.
Our Queen starts on her journey from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey, there to be crowned Queen Elizabeth II.
She's wearing the Order of the Garter and looks both regal and military and elegant all at once.
Cries ring out, "We want the Queen."
Of marking that wonderful history. I'm joined by in-pensioner Ray Huggins. Once a Grenadier Guard, always a Grenadier Guard, so of the Grenadier Guards. Tell me about the first birthday parade that you took part in.
The first, 1947, we were back from Germany. In 1947, it was the King's birthday parade then, of course, and we were in khaki. I seem to remember the first time that ceremonial dress was brought in was when Her Majesty got married in November, and the Household Cavalry. But we were still, I was a member of the Guard of Honour at Westminster Abbey. Funnily enough, I was the shortest man on parade. I was number 96. I was the shortest man on parade.
But you're not a short man.
Well, I was for the King, as it was then the King's Company. The minimum height was 6'2.5". The minimum height.
Oh, right.
I mean, 6'7" was average type thing, and they couldn't find 96. I was moved into the 96 position, which was superb, of course, lovely. And then, funnily enough, I've been thinking about this while I was sat down listening, that I think I've done more Queen's birthday parades abroad than I have in this country. First one was in Tripoli, I think in 1949 or 50, I can't remember. We did one in Tripoli when we left Palestine. I did one in Berlin, Dusseldorf, West Africa, the Cameroon, South America. Fun, all fantastic, all wonderful. I mean, Her Majesty, the greatest expert on ceremonial in the world, without any shadow of a doubt. Wonderful person, absolutely perfect in the job, absolutely perfect, absolutely.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here today, and I know that actually you've met the Queen, haven't you, at the Diamond Jubilee?
Yes, I've been privileged. The regiment presented Her Majesty with a Diamond Jubilee present, and there were 20 people invited to lunch, and I was one of them. It was wonderful. Her Majesty and Prince Philip were there. It was great. Yeah, she's a wonderful lady, wonderful lady. How she remembers all this, I don't know. When we did the Guard of Honour for the river trip, you know, because it was Chelsea Harbour, and we did the Guard of Honour, the pensioners. Should I say this? The adjutant said, Your Majesty, this is Mr. Huggins. I was the Academy Sergeant Major Sanders. And Her Majesty looked at him and said, I know Mr. Huggins was the Academy Sergeant Major Sanders. We had lunch together last month.
Fantastic stuff, Ray. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Ma'am. Thank you very much for inviting me. My pleasure. Thank you.
Lovely reminiscences there, and very nice twinkle in the eye and enjoying the day. And as we're within just a few minutes of the appearance on the balcony and the fly past, and I suppose, Richard, I'd ask you what is going on in the palace at this moment, because of course in your capacity in the past as commanding officer, you've been part of that reception, so what's the kind of atmosphere there right now?
Couldn't possibly comment on things that go on behind the scenes. However, I think we might expect the horses might have been given a carrot or two after the parade, and there might be a conversation or two about how the parade might have gone.
What are we looking forward to then, Robert?
Well, I think to see all the royal family out there, and just to see the response of the crowd. Every year there is the most warmest of receptions for all of them. I think very nice to see the Duchess of Cambridge back in public for the first time since the birth of Princess Charlotte, and also very nice to see just to see the Duke of Edinburgh. Actually, he just celebrated his 94th birthday. He's been very much at the heart of today's parade. We talked earlier about people taking things easier. Here they come now. Here's the Queen. She's going to lead out some of the younger members of the family. There's the Duke of Edinburgh just behind her. Listen to the roar.
A great roar from the crowd outside Buckingham Palace. Prince of Wales. And look at the Duke of Cambridge. Let's go back to the balcony and have a look at William, because this is a significant moment, isn't it, Robert?
Here we go. There he is. His first appearance on the palace balcony that he's going to know so well. Shortly before his second birthday, there is Prince George, and what we see there is it is a historic moment, genuinely historic moment, Huw. It's the first time we've seen 4 generations of the royal family on the palace balcony since the days of the late Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. But it's the first time we've seen a sovereign and 3 future sovereigns together in public ever, I think. We saw that famous christening photo, of course, of Prince George's christening. There was a famous, that was a great moment. This is the first time in public we've seen the Queen and the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Cambridge and Prince George next to each other. That is a historic image.
There was an audible roar when George came into view and William stepped forward. But he does seem to be taking great interest in what he sees.
He certainly does. He seems to be perfecting the wave. He's just clocking the crowds. Be interesting to see how he reacts to the RAF fly past. He's obviously knows all about helicopters. I'm sure he's got 1 or 2 at home. But I think that definitely is a bonus for the crowds who are here today. I don't think nobody knew that was going to happen. But as I said, it's the first time in public we've seen a monarch and 3 future monarchs alongside each other. Quite a moment.
Well, they're expecting, and the Duke of Edinburgh there is looking up into the skies. Very cloudy, I have to say. Rather grey skies in London today. We were expecting 8 elements of this traditional birthday fly past, but that's been reduced to a couple, because we're going to see the helicopter element, the support helicopter force, and then we'll have the Red Arrows. So there will be quite a spectacular finale to the fly past itself, for the Red Arrows are here. But the Dakota from the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, sadly, because of conditions, not able to fly. The Spitfires, the 2 Hurricanes, and then we had some other more modern craft too. So they've taken out quite a few of the elements because of the conditions, which have not been favourable. And they were telling us just a short while ago it's a decision not taken lightly. But there are strict rules in place governing flypasts over London, especially for some of these older planes, and for that reason, on this day of the Queen's birthday parade, they've decided to reduce it, as I say, to the first element, the support helicopter force, and to the Red Arrows. So let's see if we can glimpse. Well, there's the Red Arrows, and that's a pretty spectacular display, and Duke of Cambridge responding. Let's listen to the roar.
He's impressed.
That was a what was that kind of look?
I think Father saying Yeah, that was great. I think I saw the Duke go, wow.
So the Red Arrows, having done their work spectacularly as ever, the Queen seems to have enjoyed that. And there, our glimpse of Prince George in his first appearance on this balcony. The Queen's birthday parade, waves goodbye to the crowd. Prince Harry clearly enjoying himself too, and the Prince of Wales on the Duchess of Cornwall too. A final thought from you gentlemen, Robert?
Well, as ever, a great birthday parade, but Huw, I can't help thinking that was a great one. Next year, an even more important one. It will be Her Majesty's 90th birthday, and I think that's going to be sensational.
As Robert said, what a wonderful way to finish with 4 generations on the balcony, and I look forward to Her Majesty's 90th parade next year.
Well, the Queen and 4 generations of the royal family have made their way back into the palace, and the birthday parade of 2015 is over. Another consummate display by everyone on Horse Guards, by the Welsh Guards certainly, and by an equally masterful performance by the Royal Air Force to round off the day's events. Don't forget, you can enjoy it all again. Our highlights programme is on BBC Two this evening at 6 o'clock. But for now, from my special guests, Major General Richard Stanford, Robert Hardman, from my colleague Claire Balding, and from all of the BBC team at Horse Guards, thanks for watching and goodbye.
Diamond League Athletics from Oz.